Lowell Gentry, University of Illinois.
One of our funded NREC projects is coming to an end this year. It's been a 4-year study, and we've been able to come up with a few conclusions for you here that are just to tease you with. This study is about growing cereal rye in front of corn, in continuous corn. And cereal rye is a bit tricky in front of corn, and you can actually produce too much and you can get a yield hit. So we think we've come up with the right timing as far as when to kill it and then when to plant. And we've got a very nice regression on growing degree days versus above ground biomass. And we think you probably should kill it 2 weeks in advance if you're growing corn after cereal rye. But we also have found how much cereal rye do we need to reduce the tile nitrate load. We're growing cereal rye in front of soybean, and there's a lot more flexibility in management and when to kill the cereal rye. In fact, 2 years in a row, we planted the soybean green into cereal rye, meaning it was standing when we planted the soybean. It was 2 and 3 feet tall. It was over 2 tons of above ground biomass. So we've proven that you can do that, proof of concept. It didn't hurt our yield, and it greatly reduced tile nitrate loads. In fact, we had concentrations down around 1 part per million, very low nitrate loss from this system. At another NREC-funded site in Douglas County, we have 36 tiles we're monitoring on one farm. And that allows us to have 6 treatments and 3 replicates with both phases of the corn and soybean rotation present simultaneously each year. And that experiment is based on the timing of N fertilizer application, and there's split applications involved, but also we have a cover crop treatment. And what we found is that split applications do reduce tile nitrate loads, and a cover crop can help even beyond that. So with the split applications, we find that when we put fertilizer on closer to when the crop needs it, we have less chances of loss, and we maintain yield. For another NREC study, I've teamed up with a new faculty member here in the Natural Resource Environmental Sciences, and we're very excited about what his capabilities are. So we're going to look at a couple of the treatments at the Douglas County project, where we're going to look at the split N application treatment versus also the split N application treatment with the cover crop. Cover crop should make a dramatic difference in there, and yet another material that we can source for N15 versus O18. That's the actual isotopes he's looking for. So it has great promise, and I'm really excited about this new project. At another NREC-funded site in Piatt County, where we have corn, soybean, wheat versus corn, soybean conventionally managed, also versus continuous corn with and without cereal rye. We have these 4 agricultural systems in one place, and with each phase of the rotation out there at all times, we can compare corn after wheat, or corn after soybean, and corn, soybean, and then corn after corn. And we have N rates on this farm as well, so that we can sort out what was the optimum nitrogen fertilizer rate to have been used that year. That's some good insight on how much nitrogen was provided by the soil versus how much came from fertilizer. And we have found that by keeping the soil covered for 30 months out of 36, that's what we have with the corn, soybean, wheat rotation with cereal rye after corn, and wheat takes the place of a cover crop as well. So we're covered up 30 months out of 36 versus the corn, soybean rotation where it's conventionally managed. We're only covered up there with crops 10 months out of 24. So the difference in the amount of time that roots are alive in the 3-year rotation with the cover crop versus the 2-year rotation greatly takes up any nitrate that forms during the non-growing season, like especially after soybean. It's not just all excess fertilizer. We have nitrogen forming after soybean, and a cover crop can grab that as well. Well, wheat takes it up in the rotation of the 3-year rotation. So we can greatly reduce the tile nitrate loads on this farm. Also on the Piatt County farm, which is a farm owned by Eric Miller, and he's just a great research cooperator for us. He's divided his fields in strange shapes just to isolate tile systems for me. He's a great guy to work with. Well, another study that is funded by NREC got the idea from farmers asking the question, what's the effect of tillage on soil carbon, and can we take a credit for various conservation practices that lead to carbon sequestration and building of soil carbon? So this experiment that we designed has 4 treatments, and it's all linked to tile drainage. Again, it's on Eric Miller's farm in Piatt County, and he just installed 16 tiles with 16 agri-drain structures that we will monitor. And so we're going to look at the effect of no-till versus strip-till with and without a cover crop versus conventional tillage to see if tillage affects tile nitrate loss or can it affect nitrous oxide loss. So this experiment's all about carbon, and the first thing we've got to do is go out there and take lots of soil samples this fall to see what our baseline for carbon is in this soil, and then that truly begins the experiment.